Well, good morning everyone, and welcome to the shop. We're going to get a chainsaw video going here. This saw came into me early this spring. It was a basket case. I received it with two other saws. So I'm going to spin you around here and show you what we're going to get into. All right, this Husqvarna 353 came in this spring with two of these Husqvarna 45s, and they were beat. The 353 was locked up, and both of the 45s didn't have any compression. So I tore this one apart. It was the newer of the saws, so I tore this one apart to see what needed to be done. And the piston was seized right up on the wrist pin. This is the piston out of it. So I got that broke loose. The ring was seized on it. So I got down a little farther and I got the main bearings, and the main bearings are locked right up. That one is. This one is just rougher and rough. So I got with the guy that gave them to me, and he didn't want to do anything with it, so I thought, well, I'll just make a part saw out of it, you know. And so it sat on the bench over there for 4 months. And I finally thought, you know, I'll get one of these 45s going. So I tore into the 45, and yep, sure enough, this cylinder's all galled up on it, and the rings are bad and locked up. And so I started researching the cylinders on it, and I found the cylinder for this one, and it was really cheap. It was a set. It came with the cylinder like that, and a piston, and the bearing, and the wrist pin, both main bearings, the decompression valve, a spark plug, and I'm trying to think what else it had with it. A gasket set for the engine for under 50 bucks. So I thought, well, I'm going to get that going. And the piston and cylinder for the 45 was almost $100. But I got to noticing, I got looking through the specs on it, and the piston and cylinder for the 45 was also the same one that was on my John's Red that I threw the rod on. And so I took the piston and cylinder off the John's Red and put it in that 45. Worked perfect. Put it out on Misty's list. It's a local buy and sell, kind of like Craigslist. And it was gone within a day. So it worked out really good. But, so I tore into this one. I got the kit in, and I didn't video any of it because it was going to be a part saw. So I got it all together, put the new piston cylinder in, cleaned the carburetor, and got it running good. Got it. It'd start good. I'd go out and cut some wood with it and shut it off and try to restart it, and the damn thing wouldn't start again. So I got to looking, and the gas tank was black inside. I don't know what they put in it. So I washed the tank out. I ordered a new fuel line, a new fuel filter, and the sprocket drive was almost wore through, so I got a new sprocket drive for it. So that's what we're going to do, is the final stuff to get this saw up and running where I can sell it. So I went and got this Forester saw, the bar. It was a kit, came with the bar, the chain, and a 3/16 file. And it was under 50 bucks, so that worked out pretty good on that. Everything I order off of Amazon.com. So that's where we're at. I'll kind of get things organized here and get us some bench space, and we'll take this bar off. The bar that was on it, the oil holes here were plugged right tight, and the chain wasn't getting any oil, so they burnt the bar up. It looks like they put a new chain on it just before they quit running it, because it's still got quite a bit of teeth left on it. But the bar is shot. It's completely wore out. So we got that new bar. All right, let's get you turned around here and get a spot clean, and we'll start tearing into this. All right, got it set in a pan there so that if I get some spills, it's not running all over. So we'll go ahead and take the cover off. The air filter cover here. This is pretty easy, it just has them clips to hold it off. There's a brand new cylinder. We'll go ahead and pull the spark plug. Pie pan here to put small stuff in. Okay. We'll so you need don't need on that side. So we'll go ahead and pull the bar off now. Little size takes a ½ inch, or you can use your scrunch that comes with them. Okay. Take the brake off so I can get this out. So I have to cut a little bit of wood with it. Get the bar out. Yeah, if you look here on the bar, this front edge is wore down a lot more than the back edge, and the groove is probably half again as wide as it should be. This side here is about half as thick as the back side. So yeah, it's looks like they never flipped their bar, because this top side looks pretty good. It's about the same. But you can see where the paint's still on it. This has all been burnt off here. You can see where it's blued. So I might make a deal that I can put my chains on there to sharpen them. But we'll do that or throw it in the scrap pile. Chain does look good. It's got 72 drive teeth on it. That's the inside teeth right here. The link is a 0.325. So this will work on that new bar. So it's still pretty good. Okay, now here's the drive sprocket we're going to change. Let me get a little air here. Kind of blow things off so it's a little nicer to work on. All right. Okay, now we need to lock the cylinder out so we can take that off. And I've got a special little tool, Husqvarna lockout tool, and you just slide that right in the spark plug hole. give her a little turn. You can also stuff a rope in there. So, rotate that up till that bottoms that cylinder out. Fell out. Like that. Keep that in there. Okay, I think I got it. And we'll give it get an old screwdriver. I think I've got all one here without a handle on it, which I use for stuff like this. And just a little hammer. Let me get you over here and I'll show you what I'm doing. Okay, right here, there's a little indent that says off. It's got an arrow. And that's how you break it loose. Just like that. Take the clutch out of it. Take the drive pulley off, and there's going to be a needle bearing in there. There's the needle bearing right there. And that goes into the oiler drive. And I'll show you the difference between these two. See there where the chain's been rubbing on that pretty hard. They're either running the wrong size chain, too small a one like that for that 14-inch bar. It takes a lot, I think it's a 9 cog wheel. But anyway, here we go. Here's the new one. They're identical. So we'll go ahead and get a little oil on these. Pardon me there. Put a little oil on that needle bearing. Don't want them to go in dry. I can pack that, but that grease will just fly out of there in a heartbeat. So just slip that back on. Make sure that drops into that oil drive sprocket. And then we'll put this back on. Goes the opposite direction. And you just put that on hand tight like that, and that's about all there is to it. All right, get my tweezers out. Here's my tweezers. And we'll need a better needle nose. Come down tight. There's some stub nose. There's some longer ones, so we got those handy. The gas line will cut it at a little bit of an angle. Kind of like that. And I can see the hole comes out right here. That hole goes right into the gas tank. So I'm going to put just a little bit of oil on this to help it slide through that hole. Got to be a pretty good fit, you know. You don't want it leaking while you're sawing with it. And then we'll see if we can shove that in that hole down in there. Kind of hard with this curly Q gas line, but I'm thinking I can get that shoved right in there. Let me turn that so it's tipped up. That'll help. Kind of fiddly. You know what, I'm going to try something a little different here. Get this piece of welding rod. I think I'm going to just slip this gas line over that welding rod. We'll need just a little bit of longer one here. All right, there's a little piece of welding rod that's a little longer. We'll just kind of feed that in there where that stands out. Got to kind of get that to start through there. Let me put a little steeper angle on this. A little pointier. I got to come in from the inside because there's no way I could grab the tip of it. From barely sticking through. From the inside, because it's clear in the back of the tank. I just don't have anything that I got that I can reach in there. I don't think I've got any forceps in here. Oh, I know what I do. Still don't think I could get in there and nah. I might be able to do that. Let's try this way. Be sure a whole lot easier to get that in the hole. Put a little lube around it. Kind of fiddly, but you know, you gotta see if I can stuff that down in there. And now, boy, it's barely sticking through. I don't know if I can get a hold of that or not. There, she's sticking up a little farther. Pull on that a little easy. if I can get a hold of the whole deal there. A little more lube around it. There, I'm getting got about an inch pulled through. Now I can get a hold, instead of just that tapered tip, I can get a hold of that tube. Now she's going in. Trying to keep that lubed up so I don't snap that rubber line. Okay, now that comes up through there, slips under the carburetor. Now we'll just pull all that slack out of there. A little more lube, it seems to really help. Keep that thing lubed up. Okay, kind of watch it here and make sure everything goes in okay and it's not going to pinch on anything. All right, that looks really good. And what I'm doing is kind of looking at how much tubing I need to leave in there. This is kind of a curly, so when I drop it in there, it'll clunk around. Like, oh, I think I'm going to be just about right with what I got. I'm going to just cut off this tapered end. Put on the filter. Just pushes on, no clamp or anything. Drop her in the hole. Okay, that curl dried up and it's laying right on the bottom of the tank. So that works out really good. All right. Some of the mess here. That was kind of fiddly, but sometimes that's just how it is. I couldn't find the diameter of that hose, so I ordered the regular off the part number. I've got replacement hose I probably could have used, but the hose was the very first thing that came in. Okay, that fits good. That worked out That would have worked out fine if I'd have had that other type of hose. Screwdriver back in there. Need that. We don't need the hammer anymore. 1/2 inch there. Screwdriver, don't need that. Okay. Blow off this brake band. All right. There's that. Flip it over. Put the bar on. So you guys can still see what I'm doing. Kind of wipe things off. Put the bar on. Put it so the Forester's up, just for the heck of it. I'm going to put the brand new chain on. Slip it. Put that under the clutch so it don't fall off. We can drop it down on that adjuster later. Okay. The adjuster is way out. Okay, there's that. Put the plate on. Those hand tight. Lift up on the bar. And we'll tighten this chain up. We're looking right here, right there. Here's where the adjustment screw is. Some of them are here, some of them are in the end. Go ahead and adjust that to where that chain just touches the bottom of the bar and keep up pressure on it. Tighten them down good. Check, make sure everything's running free. Take my needle greaser. The little hole right out here on the end is for greasing the tip. I noticed it had grease in it from the factory. There's one on each side. Okay. You see the grease coming out right there? So that greases that tip up good. All right, we'll go ahead and put the spark plug back in. I'm hoping I don't have to tear the carburetor down again and give her a spray out, but I may. where that tank was filled up, it may have plugged that carburetor off again. We'll give it a try before we do that again. Okay, check my bar oil. Right full. Doesn't leak at all. I've had it here on the bench for a week, and not a drop of oil. So that worked out really good. So we'll go get us some mix gas. So I'll be right back. All right, I got a little bit of gas now. This is a 50-to-1 mix. And when I cleaned it out, this gasket kind of swelled up a little bit, so I think I'm going to put a little dab of oil on that to help it seat up a little bit. Just kind of fit down in there a little bit better. Oh yeah, that's easy. A lot better. Make sure we don't have any leaks. Okay. And the fuel line's down, so there's nothing on the bench. There's no primer pump on this. So I'm going to set it down on the floor. That's a little high for me, so let's see what we got here. I got a bum shoulder, so I don't like to pull with it up high like that. Well, fired up. Whew. All right, let's see if we can get her tuned up now. All right, I've got the carburetor adjusted a little. So let's see how it cuts. See if it'll restart. I got it warmed up and adjusted the carburetor. This is the first time I tried to start it. That started good. All right. I think she's gonna run her. So that's 353. I'll run a couple of tanks of gas out of it, and then put her on the market. I think it's really good. I got to readjust that, or sharpen that saw, the chain. It's kind of grabby, that brand new saw. So so there we go. Brought that one back from the dead. So thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye.